And so without further ado, let's get into it. Oh man, I'm just... Woo! Real estate knowledge!
Woo! Real estate knowledge!
And the journey to success you can almost view as a linear path. And that's an important thing to consider whenever you're researching a lot of these mentors or a lot of these gurus, is different elements of success can apply to different periods of your journey. And so that's one of the things Stefan was really successful with in a lot of his books, such as Self-Made, is that you can see how his whole story progresses and how each element fits together. And so that's what we're trying to do in this top 10 video, is give you all the tips in a sequential manner. So that's what you'll see starting out with our knowledge tips, the first two, and then moving on to the tips in terms of the sequence of how you want to acquire skills and how you want to progress in your journey. And then finally, we're going to wrap things up with some core success tips that can really apply to anybody. So guys, now we're here at Western University to continue our top 10 tips for Stefan Aarnio's knowledge. And we thought, what better place to share these tips than a place like Western University, an institution designed on sharing and giving knowledge. And that's where we come to the first tip of Stefan Aarnio's lessons. And that is, knowledge is really key, guys. Knowledge is the foundation in which you build your success off of. And these lessons are echoed many times throughout Stefan's work. Knowledge can be gathered in many different ways. It can be gathered from going to a learning institution like Western University and getting your knowledge that way. Or you can even think more creatively about gathering knowledge through reading books on the topics you want, through going to seminars, and through networking with people that can provide you with more knowledge. Now, when it comes to getting knowledge, there's definitely different levels. The more active you are in acquiring knowledge, the quicker you'll be able to learn the knowledge. And this is something that's echoed many times throughout Stefan Aarnio's lessons. Stefan started out being a seeker of knowledge and having a thirst for knowledge in terms of learning, as well as being a self-proclaimed seminar junkie. And throughout his book, you can read on his journey of going to Donald Trump seminars, going to Rich Dad, Poor Dad seminars, going to pretty much any seminar that he felt would give him an edge in his investing in his career. This is a very smart move, but it can be a double-edged sword. With a lot of education, they might not be super pinpointed to exactly what you actually need to do to become successful in the long run. Even though Stefan was learning lots by going to all the different Donald Trump seminars, Rich Dad, Poor Dad seminars, and real estate investing seminars, you'll find after a while it can be easy to slip into seminar junkie syndrome, which is where you're just going for the collection of knowledge and that dopamine rush that it gives you. And that's why we transition into tip number 2, which is work to learn, not to earn. And that's because when you're working, the knowledge you're acquiring has to be focused on an objective. It can't just be superfluous knowledge that isn't really helping you out on your journey to success. So early on in Stefan's career, after going to some seminars, he actually found an opening to help out at these seminars, to help pitch the seminar's product to people, to refine that knowledge he'd been learning about marketing, about branding, about real estate, and actually use that and target that towards customers. And so that's the power of working to learn as opposed to earning, is that you actually get to test, in a sense, the knowledge you're learning and test yourself on the job. This can also come with the side benefit of learning or of earning some side income, which actually kind of pays for your activity and pays for education. As opposed to paying a university tuition, you can almost have your tuition subsidized for you. And in real estate, there's so many great ways to do this. Whether or not it be renovations, being paid to do some renovation work, whether or not it's even taking a risk and taking a gamble on your first couple flip or burr projects and hoping to actually come out with either a small profit at the end, or even if you break even, at the end of the day, you can almost consider that as your tuition. So that's why that's our big tip number 2, work to learn, not to earn. It's actually a very easy strategy to emulate. All you have to do is get creative and find avenues where you can offer value to people while building up your skill set. And that's why our second tip, you should work to learn, not to earn, is so critical, because you end up gathering the knowledge that you need on your success journey, not all this extra superfluous knowledge. And that's why also it's very, very replicable. You can find people who have done it and you can work in similar methods that they have. whether or not it's people gathering construction knowledge from doing hands-on construction work, or it's people who work to be promoters or salespeople because you're selling other people's products. And that transitions really well into our next series of tips, basically tips 3 through 7. And this is a whole series that I believe we'll try to cover in one chunk. And it's the sequence in which you should develop your skills when becoming a successful investor. And this sequence works from you want to start out as a marketer, become a negotiator, then become a producer, then an investor, and then finally a capitalist using other people's money. So I'll break down those points in a second for you, but have that progression in line. You want to start with marketer, negotiator, producer, investor, and then finally capitalist.